Welcome everyone back to what we were talking about, and thank you so much for all of you who have followed me on YouTube. The main reason why I redirect traffic here is because I not only want you to listen to this video, but to also go through all the videos that I have done when it comes to mental wellness. My passion is about raising a society of mentally how would I put this? Raising up a society that has people with mental muscle. You know, challenges are always there. They will never change. And times also do change. But the what is important is that you remain, able to deal with issues even as they come your way. Sometimes you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you feel or how you react towards things. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Subscribe, like the video, like the rest of the videos, and also share, because we can only impact people by giving them the right knowledge, sharing the right type of knowledge when it comes to mental wellness. And today I'm just doing an outdoor, as I said. Please don't mind about the noise that is, outside there. I keep quite a few canines, so don't be distracted by the voices. I know I'm very clearly. Don't be also be distracted by the barkings, and then I always say nature has a voice. So if you hear a dog barking, if you hear some noises behind, let us just blend. But the key thing remains that we focus on the topic of today, which is gossip part 3. So as I said, most of the times it is ladies who are affected by gossip. Why? Because ladies are emotional beings. We are all created to be emotional beings, but when it comes to mental processes, ladies tend to think with their emotions, men tend to think with their logic. They love to reason, they love to put facts on the table. Now, there is a special type of men who hold committees, who sit down to gossip about people. I love to refer to them as mangoes, that is man gossipers, because a man was created to fend for the family, to do other important things. But if you're a man and you find yourself sitting down and 90 or 80% of your time you are spending on gossiping or propagating rumors, or just fixated on certain people and going around tarnishing their names, then you fit in this category called mango. Please note that mango is not in the psychological dictionary. It is just something that I came up with. We are told that we are co-creators, and if God has given us that ability, we can also create words. So to the mangoes out there, it is time to embrace mental wellness. Now, 2 facts. Gossip is a game of the week. It is a game of the week. It is a game for the week. Number 2, those who propagate gossip, most of the time you find that, and this is just a recap of my previous videos, you find that these people are suffering from self-esteem, self-pity. Number 2, they are looking for the low-hanging fruits in terms of mentally weak people. So by the time someone is coming to gossip to me about my friend, they have seen an element in me that is vulnerable, that will allow them, as the propagators of gossip, to manipulate my thoughts and manipulate my behaviors towards that person. Number 3, gossip is also mostly a game of those people who have gone through traumas in life, they have gone through psychological or mental issues that are unresolved. So what happens? If you're suffering from rejection, if you're suffering from, being a victim of maybe domestic violence, your husband beats you up, you will find yourself predisposable to gossip. Why? You're always looking for stories that are consolation to your current situation. But when you seek help, therapeutic help, it becomes very easy to walk away from distraction, because gossip is a distraction. Gossip can play the role of a defense mechanism whereby you move away from dealing with your own personal issues and look for consolation from other things. So another thing that I would want you to note is people who are always engaging in gossip have their own issues that they have not dealt with. So gossip becomes a way of consoling themselves, of also trying to get some sort of healing, from other people's stories or situations. Number 4, gossip is also a game of what we call the shadow personality. When we talked about the types of characters that you find in any gossip game. So the people who play shadows, spiritually I like to call them monitoring spirit. They are always walking behind you. Where you go, they will go. But when you're done with what you're doing, they come in and find out, Venus was here, or so and so was here. What did she say to you? And then they try to undo what you have done. If you went there to impact positively, they come and try and undo it, change the mentality of that person, trying to also, make you aware that they can also do what you are doing in a way, but for them it comes in a negative light. So it is a game of those people who play the shadow type, because they are always behind you, tracking you, and also counter-effecting, or counter-attacking you. So you might have gone, to visit someone, to be a blessing, but they go, the shadow will always come behind you and try and also play that game, whether they'll either counter-attack or counter-effect what you have done. But lastly, anyone who's gossiping and anyone who has made gossip a lifestyle is always looking for affirmation. Why? Because, at the end of the day, there's always the, okay, so you're correct. So those kind of words evoke certain types of reaction from people. And to that person, the mastermind behind gossip, they get that affirmation. They look for that, remember that we said they have self-pity syndrome, self-esteem issues. So when you're saying, when you're, in your backing them up, and ululating and, cheering them on, there's something they are gaining, which helps them now get a self-worth or, high self-esteem. But the question is, and that's why I redirected you here, why would you want to deal with gossip? How would you deal with gossip? Because we always encounter it. I mean, in life, if you don't have an enemy, then you're not human. And your enemies are the ones who go out there to gossip about you. Your frenemies are in the middle. They will one time gossip about you, but you will never get to know about them unless, something just happens that they are mentioned, as part of the group. But what is this thing that pushes people to gossip about you? We already talked about it. How do you deal with gossip? I'm gonna show you 5 very strong techniques that you can use, or probably applications that you can use whenever you find yourself caught up in this gossip game. But remember one thing that I have said: if gossip does not help you, then move on. Move on. It's time to change, people. If you're a woman out there, if you're a man and you find yourself engaged in this game called gossip, probably it is time for you to move on. And by moving on, I hope that you will be able now to change something in you that will propagate you into success. We only live once, and if you spend majority of your time gossiping, if you spend majority of your time judging and looking into other people's lives, you are wasting a lot of the precious time that you have been given in this journey called life. It is time to change. Now, why is gossip and how do you deal with gossip? The first thing is to realize that gossip is a waste of time. Okay? Small minds discuss people. Great minds discuss ideas. Now, it is for you to decide where you stand. Number 2, it intoxicates your emotions. Remember, the mastermind is always trying to attack you. So by the time he or she is going out there to start tarnishing your name, to start talking things, that are not true about you so that they can get a self-worth, a feeling of like they are able, a feeling like they are a demigod. Let me tell you, on your end, if you attract or if you allow this thing to affect you, then you have allowed negative emotions into your space. This means that you are moving away from your goals. You're moving away from your journey of, looking into the bigger things of life and getting derailed in these words or these issues that are being discussed about you. So that negative vibe, that negative energy ends up intoxicating your aura. Remember, words have energy. So when you allow negative words into your aura, there is no way you can be able to speak positive things out of your life. Very important that you become aware that whenever you let gossip affect you, you have ideally opened your doors to negative emotions. So how do you deal with negative emotions that have been thrown into your court, that have been, a ball that has been thrown into your court? Basically, ignore. Just ignore. Remember, you're a great mind. You're a great mind, and someone is trying to get into your courtyard and throwing some, negative vibe so that you're not able to function. What do? Move away. Move away. Do not let that energy mix with yours, okay? So what am I saying? Create boundaries. I want to ask you, do you have the 7, or not, let me just narrow it down. Do you have the 4 friends, who will hold the 4 corners of your casket when you die? These are the people you need to spend time with. Why? Because if you give them that, benefit, that what do they call it? I'm looking for the correct word. If you can trust them to, be there. The people who are going to see you in the final rites. When you're going 6 feet under, when you're being buried, then I believe these are people who are worth being your friends. Okay, so these are the people that you should spend time with. Life is not about the quantity, the number of friends that you have. It is about the quality of friends you have. So whenever you find yourself in that place where you're being contaminated by negativity, move into your inner circle. Let these 4 friends, let these 7 friends, I believe in 7, great friends. Let these friends be the ones that you spend majority of your time with. Number 3, why is gossip and how do you deal with gossip? Okay, the truth is, when you embrace the words of people, what they think about you, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy against yourself. Someone spoke into your life. Someone said you're nasty. Someone called you a witch. Someone just came up with statements that are not necessarily true. But by reacting to them, you're actually enabling their words. You are breathing life into their words. Okay? What we call self-fulfilling prophecies that have been done against you. So, to kill this self-fulfilling prophecy, I want you to understand these three things. Anyone who gossips has a personality issue. We have the 4 types of personality, traits. 4 major types of temperaments. Please go back and see, I really, explained them well. Please check out my video on personalities and temperaments. So in that, personality type, there are people who are predisposed to gossiping. Why? Because those traits come with certain defense mechanisms. Number 2, gossipers have an issue about achievements. I always say when you are successful, people will talk about you. When things are not going on well for you, people will still talk about you. But check out, when you're having, success stories going on, or when you tend to look like you are achieving much in life, then look out. Your circle will decrease. You will find that people now start having issues with you. So gossipers have an issue. They have a problem when guys, when their enemies, can I say enemies, are also achieving in life. It actually destabilizes them. Okay, so it's very important that we realize that they have personality issues. Number 2, they can't just deal with success. They can't just deal with, your life. They can't deal with what you're achieving in life. You might just buy, a bicycle and becomes a problem with someone, someone tends to lack sleep just because you have bought a bicycle. So it is a problem that is on their end, not on your end. Number 3, remember what I talked about? They bring, what they can't stand about you. When people sit down to talk about you, let me tell you, it is what they can't stand about you. You'll hear people saying like, my God, do you ever see how, she just puts that red lipstick? Gosh, that is something, that is a telltale sign that red lipstick of yours, or your eyeshadow, or whatever, or your dressing, or, how you just carry yourself, sort of like destabilizes them. They have an issue about it. So, why would you let their words affect you? It is not you who has the problem, because you're living your life. Remember, you have been working. You have been busy doing your own things. You have been living your life. But they're also busy talking about you. Do not let people's words affect you. Please, and I will repeat, do not let people's words affect you. Learn to live your life. Learn to focus. Do not make other people's prophecies come alive because you have embraced their negative words. You have embraced their personalities, their issues, and you're, bringing them into your space and making these words look like they have power over you. Let us learn and let us remember that the bottom line is, it's your life. It's your life. They are entitled to what they have to say. True. They're entitled because that's their mouth. It is their words. It is their own mentality. But remember, your life is your life. It remains yours. And yours comes from the word you. So you have the ability to control what you feel, how you react, and what you do with what people say about you. At the end of the day, you have a destiny, you have a calling in life. I would really, really urge you to focus on your life. Now, another thing and another reason why you should not even bother with gossip, or how in a better placed way, is another reason why you should not let gossip get into your space, is by learning that gossip derails you from dealing with what remains key or instrumental in your life. Okay? It derails you from focusing on your own life. So when you move away from the toxic, from the negative circles, when you move away from the source of gossip, it helps you focus on your life. When I look at social media today, we find ourselves in groups, we find ourselves, in, spaces where we are dealing with so many people. I personally have, a mantra, or, that has to do with my circle. Okay. So I don't really thrive where there's a lot of negativity. I don't. And one thing that I've learned is to move away from anyone who does not grow me. Anyone who is not, of benefit to me in terms of personal growth. True friends will always tell you, Venus, I think you need to change 1, 2, 3. Instead of going to gossip about you, instead of also allowing people to come and manipulate their thoughts and behaviors towards you, they will look for time and, sit down with you over a cup of tea, over a cup of coffee, even over a prayer, moment, and tell you, I'm going to pray, that God helps you to change 1, 2, 3 things about you. But those who specialize in gossip will have outbursts. In fact, they thrive, in propagating issues in the wrong places, in the wrong spaces about you. So it's very important that you realize that, yes, people have a right to say what they feel. But also learn to look at the signs, learn to look at the symptoms of people who have self-defeat belief systems. Okay? Number 5, and the last one, of how to deal with gossip, or probably how to learn to, deflate, the muscle that gossip has over your life. Learn to practice the art of gratitude. Every day in my life, I write something that I'm grateful for. When I do this, it reminds me of how blessed I am. Do people gossip about me? Yes, a lot of times. If people don't gossip about you, remember what I said, you're not human. But when I write down something and put it in what I call a gratitude box, I am reminded of how blessed I am. Sometimes it's just that, I'm able to sit down and just breathe. That makes me grateful. Sometimes it's just, about, remembering that I was able to cry. The fact that I can be able to produce tears, is something to be grateful for, because there's someone in a hospital somewhere who does not have tears. So when you learn to practice the art of gratitude, it sort of, moves your attention to what people say about you and pushes you into a space where you realize that no matter what, you still are blessed in small and big ways. So in my next videos, and because we have been talking about gossip, you realize there's a lot of emotional intelligence that is needed, in dealing with gossip. So I'm going to be talking about emotional intelligence. Please subscribe to my channel so that, and push the notification button so that you can be able to get notified whenever I do any video. Remember, I talk about mental issues, but mental issues arise from the realities of life. They arise from challenges of life. And remember what I always say, life has a way of throwing, stuff at you, but it is your thoughts that affect how you behave and how you feel. Let me again just emphasize, please like this video, share and subscribe. Let us, create the society we want. And for those of us who are parents, this is about our children. Remember, when you empower yourself, you will empower your children. It always starts with your inner circle, and externally also affect how you deal with your community and how you deal with society at large. Remember, at the end of the day, it starts with you. It's about how much and how passionate you are about being mentally healthy. So thank you so much once again for the feedback that you have been giving me. Thank you so much even for those who have suggested on topics that I should touch on. Remember, at the end of the day, it doesn't take me, and I may not be so perfect at this, but I know this little knowledge that I have, this little facts that I have learned, having been a student of life in human sciences, will help you in one way or the other. Let us continue motivating one another and each other in this journey called life. So till next time, thank you guys so much for being there. Just for those of you who take time to listen to me, I am so grateful. And as I close, as I finish on this topic about gossip, part 3, I'd like to leave you with a quote from a very great guy called Lao Tzu. And one thing that he said is, for you to grow, you have to introduce awareness into your conscious mind, into your unconscious mind. So what I have been doing is just to introduce the type of awareness that you need in this gossip game. Thank you so much. Looking forward to always talking to you about life issues. Till next time, God bless you, God keep you, and may you realize what you have been called to do in this journey called life. God bless you.